So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10th Canto, Chapter number 1, the Advent of Lord Krishna Introduction, texts 18 and 19. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I see that text 19 is on the board, so I will just read through 18 and then we will responsibly do 19.
18 paskaitysiu pats, o 19 kartu.
Gorbutoshvru mukhi kinna kredanti karanam vibho upastitanti ketasmai vyasanam samavochata. Mother Earth assumed the form of a cow. Very much distressed, with tears in her eyes, she appeared before Lord Brahma and told him about her misfortune.
Motina Žemė įgavo karvės pavydalą. Be galo nuliūdusi, su ašaromis akise, jis stojo priešais viešpatį Brahmą ir papasakojo jam apie savo nelaimę.
Brahma tat upadarya ata saha devai taya saha jagama sa tri nayana tiram chira paya nidhe brahmatad upadaryata sahadevaistaya saha sagama satri nayanas tiram chira paya nidhe brahmatad upadaryata sahadevaistaya saha jagama satri nayanas tiram chirapayo nidhe. Brahma, Lord Brahma,
Viešpas Brahma,
tat upadharya, understanding everything rightly,
viską deramai supratęs.
Ato, thereafter,
Po to,
saha, with,
su,
devai, the demigods,
pusdieviais,
taya saha, with Mother Earth,
su motina Žeme,
jagama, approached,
nukeliavo,
Satrinayana, with Lord Shiva who has 3 eyes,
su viešpačiu Šiva, kuris turi 3 akis,
Tiram, the shore,
į pakrantę,
Chirapaya Nidhe, of the ocean of milk.
pieno vandenyno.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter, having heard of the distress of Mother Earth, Lord Brahma with Mother Earth, Lord Shiva, and all the other demigods approached the shore of the ocean of milk. Purport. After Lord Brahma understood the precarious condition of the earth, he first visited the demigods headed by Lord Indra, who were in charge of the various affairs of this universe, and Lord Shiva, who is responsible for annihilation. Both maintenance and annihilation go on perpetually under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. Those who are obedient to the laws of God are protected by different servants and demigods, whereas those who are undesirable are vanquished by Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma first met all the demigods, including Lord Shiva. Then, along with Mother Earth, they went to the shore of the ocean of milk, where Lord Vishnu lies on a white island, Shvetadvip.
Jo dieviškos malonybės Eisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Šrila Prabhupados vertimas ir komentaras. Išgirdęs apie negandas, kurios ištiko motiną žemę, viešpas Brahmas kartu su ja, viešpačiu Šiva ir kitais pusdieviais nukeliavo prie pieno vandenyno. Komentaras. Kai viešpas Brahmas suprato, kad žemė gresia pavojus, visų pirma jis aplankė viešpatės Indros vadovaujamus pusdievius, atsakingus už įvairias visatos būties sferas ir viešpatės Šiva, kuris atsako už sunaikinimą. Aukščiausių Dievo asmens valia visatoje be palievos vyksta palaikymo ir naikinimo procesai. Pasak Bhāgavatam 4.8, paritranāja sadhuna vinašaja čia duškritam. Aukščiausiojo tarnai ir pusdieviai apsaugo tuos, kurie paklūsta jo įstatymams, o viešpats Šivas sutikina tuos, kurių buvimas visatoje nepageidautinas. Iš pradžių viešpas Brahmas sutiko su pusdieviais, įskaitant viešpatį Šivą. Po to visi jie kartu su motina žeme patraukė link pieno vandenyno, kur baltoje saloje Švetadvipoje guli viešpas Višnu.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Yadeshatarine. So what to do when there's difficulty?
Ką daryti, kai aplanko bėdos?
You try to figure it out on your own.
Ar pačiam spręsti problemą?
Here we see even the great demigods headed by Lord Brahma.
Čia matom, kad didieji pusdieviai, kuriem vadovavo Brahma,
When there was great difficulties,
patyrė didelę problemą,
they approached the Supreme Lord.
kreipėsi į aukščiausią viešpatį.
So this is the intelligent thing to do.
Taigi, tai yra išmintingas veiksmas.
Most people try to solve their problems of life on their own.
Dauguma žmonių sprendžia savo problemas patys.
Therefore, their problems of life are never solved.
Ir todėl tos problemos niekad neišsprendžiamas.
But those who try to solve their problems of life,
Bet tie, kurie gyvenimo problemas bando spręsti,
by humbly approaching the Lord without any demands,
nuolankiai kreipdamėsi į viešpatį, nieko iš jų nereikalaudami,
they have all of their problems of life solved.
jų problemas išsisprendžia.
Note that I said without any demands.
Įsidėmėkit, kad aš sakiau, kad be jokių reikalavimų.
Our problem is that we often approach the Lord with our demands.
Problema mūsų yra ta, kad mes pas viešpatį kreipiame su savo reikalavimais.
Give me this, give me that, give me.
Duok man tą ir duok man aną.
This is the wrong mentality.
Toks mentalitetas yra netinkamas.
We are meant to approach the Lord in what can I give you, how can I serve you, now I surrender to you.
Mums reikia tarnauti viešpačiui ir mes turime pasikreipti su tokiu klausimu, kaip aš tau galiu atsiduoti.
Ananyashchintayanto mang ye janarpayapasate teisham nityabhayuktanam yogachayam vahamyaham. For those who worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, I preserve what they have and I carry what they lack.
Tiem, kurie medituoja į mane su išskirtiniu, kurie man tarnauja su išskirtiniu atsidavimu ir kurie medituoja mano formą, aš išsaugau, ką jie turi ir duodu, ko jiem trūksta.
Srila Prabhupada explains that those who approach Krishna in this pure way,
Šila Prabhupada paaiškina, kad tie, kurie kreipiasi pas Krišną tokiu tyru būdu,
he personally supplies all of their necessities.
jiems viešpas asmeniškai parūpina viską, ko jiems trūksta.
In other words, they have nothing to be in anxiety about,
Kitai žodžiais tariant, jie nieko neturi ko pergyventi,
because Krishna is perfectly taking care of them at every minute.
nes Krišna pilnai rūpinasi kiekvieną minutę jais.
So you can either try to take care of yourself,
Taigi galit bandyti savimi pasirūpinti patys,
or you can fully surrender to Krishna and let him take care of you.
arba visiškai atsiduoti Krišnai ir leisti jam pasirūpinti
So which
jumis.
is more intelligent?
Kas yra išmintingiau?
Surrendering to Krishna, that's more intelligent. you see.
Žinoma, atsiduoti Krišnai.
What can you do? What powers and resources do you have?
O ką patys jūs galite padaryti? Kas jūsų gali?
We're all limited in our power and our resources.
Mes visiškai riboti esame.
But Krishna has unlimited resources.
O Krišna turi neribotus kiekių resursų
Krishna has unlimited power.
ir neribotą kiekį galios.
So an intelligent thing to do is say, okay, Krishna, I'll just surrender to you and depend on you for everything.
Taigi išmintingiausia yra sakyti Krišna, gerai, aš atsiduodu tau ir būnu tavęs priklausomas.
That's much more intelligent thing.
Tai yra daug išmintingiau.
It's like the son of a rich man.
Kaip pavyzdžiui, turtuolio sūnus
He may run away from home
pabėga iš namų
and he's living as a beggar on the street,
ir gyvena kaip elgeta gatvėje.
having great difficulty to cover even his eating and sleeping requirements.
Ir jam sunku netgi gauti valgyti ir kur pamiegoti.
What to speak of nice clothing, nice this and nice that.
Ką kalbėti apie gerus apdarus ir kitus dalykus.
But if he gives up his false pride
Bet jeigu jisai atsisako savo
and he
tikro
returns to
išdidumo,
his father's house,
grįžta į tėvo namus,
then everything is provided.
tuomet jis viską gauna,
He has no anxiety about anything. you see.
jam netrūksta nieko.
So we're like runaway children, you see.
Mes esame kaip tie pabėgę vaikai
We proudly defied the authority of our parents
ir išdidžiai atmetam savo tėvų autoritetą,
to try to enjoy separately in this material world.
mėgindami tenkintis atskirai šiame pasaulyje.
But we are simply meeting with defeat step by step by step.
Bet mus paprasčiausiai sutriuškina žingsnis po žingsnio.
We're being smashed by birth,
Mus traiško gimimas,
being smashed by disease,
lygos,
being smashed by old age,
senatvė
and being smashed by death.
ir mirtis.
Again and again and again being smashed.
Vėl ir vėl mus talžo.
So an intelligent person thinks, what? This doesn't seem right.
Taigi išmintingas žmogus susimąsto, kad kodėl tokia neteisybė.
This doesn't seem right. There's got to be something beyond this.
Turėtų būti kažkas anapus to.
Life couldn't be that bleak.
Gyvenimas neturi būti toksai nuobodus.
The fact is it's not bleak.
Ir jis nėra nuobodus.
It only becomes bleak when we separate ourselves from Krishna.
Taip nutinka tik tai tada, kada mes atsiskiriam nuo Krišnos.
Then life becomes indeed very, very bleak.
Taigi tada gyvenimas tampa labai, labai blankus.
So the secret of happiness is
Taigi laimės paslaptis yra
you simply have to reconnect with Krishna.
paprasčiausiai turėkit ryšį su Krišna.
It's such a simple thing.
Paprasta.
But we're so stubborn, we don't want to do that fully, you see.
Mes tokie užstrigę, kad nenorim to daryti.
Well, I'll surrender a little bit, you see.
Nu gal truputėlį atsiduosiu.
I'm afraid to surrender all the way. I'm scared to do that, you see.
Nes aš bijau pilnai atsiduoti jam.
I'll just surrender a little bit.
Truputėlį atsiduosiu.
This is like, you know, the Band-Aid, they call them Band-Aids in America.
Kaip
That
pleisters.
thing you put on your cut, a Band-Aid. Yeah. There's two ways to pull off a Band-Aid.
Yra du būdai tą pleistą nuplėšti.
You can think, well, if I pull it off, there's all those hairs there, it's going to really hurt, you know.
Na jeigu plėšiu, tai tie plaukai
So I'll
labai
just put it off very
skaudės.
slowly, you know. Eats hair. Like that. you see.
Tai po truputį plėšim.
But that's the less intelligent way to pull off a Band-Aid.
Bet čia netaip išmintinga.
You just go, and it's finished.
Paprasčiausiai iki vieno įpų.
So we're like, we neophyte devotees, you see.
Taigi mes, pradedantis atsidavusiai,
We're like the person who wants to pull off the Band-Aid one hair at a time.
mes kaip tas žmogus, kuris nori po truputėlį pleistrą plėšti.
That's our foolishness.
Tai ir yra mūsų kvailystė.
I don't want to surrender all the way. That'd be too scary. I'm just going to little bit surrender. You see?
Nenoriu atsituoti, gal tik truputį.
But that's a very painful way.
Bet tai yra skausmingas būdas.
Very, very painful way. You say, okay, now I'm just going to fully surrender and that's it. Sign me up. I'm ready for pure devotional service. That's it. Throw everything else out. That's the intelligent thing. You see?
Bet sakyti, na gerai, aš pasirašau pilnai atsidavimo tarnystėje.
But we're lazy.
Tai yra išmintinga, bet mes
And we're
tingime.
crazy also.
Ir esam bepročiai.
We think, no, I just want a little by little. You see. They say in Spanish, poco a poco, little by little.
Ispaniškai, kaip sakoma, truputį po truputį.
I don't want to take this I don't want to rush into Krishna consciousness, you know.
Nenoriu persistengti su ta Krišna sąmonė.
I can just take my time, you know.
Aš po truputį.
A few more lifetimes in the material world. No big deal.
Pušku, dar kelis gyvenimus.
But you don't know where you're going to end up. If you don't fully surrender now, you don't know where you're going to be in your next birth.
Bet jeigu dabar neatsiduosi pilnai, nežinai, kur būsi kitą gyvenimą.
Look what happened to Maharaj Bharat.
Pažiūrėkit, kas nutiko
He had gone
Maharadžai
all the
Bharatai.
way to the Bhava stage. He was almost completely pure devotee.
Jis net Bhavos lygį pasiekė, beveik tyras atsidavęs buvo.
But he had to become a deer.
Bet gimė elnių.
So if you don't fully surrender to Krishna, you're playing Russian roulette with your future.
Taigi, jeigu pilnai neatsiduodat Krišnai, žaidžiate rusišką ruletę su savo ateitimi.
You're gambling your future, you see.
Jūs lošiat iš savo ateities.
And gambling is against the regulated principle.
O lošimas yra neleistinas
Don't
principas.
gamble your future
Neloškit su savo ateitimi.
by holding on to your material desires,
Išlaikydami savo materialius
by holding on
troškimus.
to your so-called independence.
Išlaikydami taip vadinamą savo
Actually,
nepriklausomybę.
you don't have any independence.
Neturite jokios
You foolishly
nepriklausomybės.
think you have independence. You have no independence.
Tik kvailai galvojat, kad turit. Jūs jos neturit.
You have a choice only.
Jūs turit vieną
How do I
pasirinkimą.
want to be controlled?
Kaip aš noriu būti kontroliuojamas?
Do I want to be controlled by the material energy?
Ar materialios energijos būti
Or
kontroliuojamas?
do I want to be controlled by the spiritual energy?
Ar dvasinės energijos?
It's like either you be a student in the university or be an inmate in the prison.
Tai kažkas panašaus kaip arba gali būti studentu arba kaliniu.
Either way, you're under the direction of the state.
Ir vienu ir kitu atveju jūs valdo valstybė.
Actually, in Pennsylvania, they have a joke.
Pensilvanijoje yra toks juokelis.
It's called Penn State is the university, Penn State.
Yra toks Penn State universitetas.
So you can go to Penn State or you can go to the state pen.
Galite eiti į Penn State universitetą arba State Penn arba į
State
kalėjimą.
pen is the prison, is the state. You go to the state pen or Penn State, your choice, you see.
Taigi galite rinktis kurai.
So we have a choice in this material world.
Šitame materialiame pasaulyje mes irgi turim
You
pasirinkimą.
can go to the state pen or you go to Penn State.
Ar ten eiti, ar ten eiti.
Either way, you have to serve, you see.
Ir vienu ir kitu atveju reikės tarnauti.
Either way, you have to serve. You can't avoid serving. It is your nature to serve.
Tokia prigimtis, negalite išvengti. Ir ten reikės tarnauti.
So an intelligent person thinks, by what type of service will I get the best result?
Taigi išmintingesnis klausia, kokio tipo tarnystė duoda daugiau
Only
rezultatų.
an idiot would serve that which gives him a bad result.
Ir tik tai kvailys tenais tarnaus, kur gaus mažiau naudos.
But the problem is we're still idiots.
Problema ta, kad mes vis dar esame idiotai.
Even though we've heard 1,000 million times to surrender to Krishna,
Nors milijonus kartų girdėjome apie atsidavimą
we're
Krišnai.
thinking, well, maybe in the future I'll do that.
Mes galvojam, na gal ateityje.
You see. We're not realizing the urgency
Nesuprantam būtybės,
that I must surrender to Krishna now.
kad turiu atsiduoti Krišnai dabar.
I remember I was managing Tamal Krishna Goswami's tape ministry in the early days.
Pamenu, kaip aš rūpinausi Tamal Krišna Gosvamios įrašų studiją.
When the new gurus started first preaching after Prabhupada left, they didn't have hardly any disciples, so the God brothers would act like disciples in many ways.
Ir kai naujieji guru pradėjo pamokslauti, jie neturėjo dar daug mokinių, todėl Dievo broliai jam padėdavo.
Even though I was a God brother, still I was running his tape ministry for him.
Aš buvau jo Dievo brolis, bet vis viena patarnavau jam jo įrašų studijoje.
I remember one of the best lectures he ever gave.
Ir pamenu vieną geriausių jo
It was
paskaitų.
given in Dallas, Texas.
Dalase.
He said, "It's time to get serious."
Jis pasakė, laikas surimtėti.
He really lit the fire under all of us, you know.
Iš tikrųjų uždegė ugnį visose.
Don't postpone surrender to Krishna.
Neatidėkit atsidavimo Krišnai.
Get serious about it now.
Surimtėkit dabar.
And that lecture had a big impact in our community.
Ir ta paskaita turėjo mūsų bendruomenėje didelę
They
įtaką.
did get serious about Krishna consciousness.
Atsidavusieji tikrai surimtėjo.
So now I'm passing on the message from Tamal Krishna Goswami.
Taigi perduodu tą žinutę iš Tamal
That he
Krishna
got from
Gosvamio,
Prabhupada.
kurį jis gavo iš Prabhupados, perduodu
You
jum.
better take this process seriously now.
Geriau surimtykite šiame
You
procese
don't know when
dabar.
you're going to leave your body,
Nežinot, kada numirsit.
so you better take it seriously now
Todėl surimtykit.
for your own good.
Dėl jūsų pačių labo.
So now I can ask if there's any questions. Yeah.
Mes galim sakyti dvasiniam mokytojui, kad aš jums atsiduodu arba Krišnai atsiduodu, bet kaip mes galim įrodyti tos žodžius. Ne vien tik tai, kad būtų žodžiai tušti, bet įrodymus.
We can tell that I am surrendering to my spiritual master, I am surrendering to God, but how we can prove and make it in the action?
No more sense gratification.
Daugiau jokio jūsų nepasitenkinimo.
Only Krishna service
Tik tarnystė Krišnai.
at every minute.
Kiekvieną minutę.
Got to weed out all the sense gratification.
Išravėk bet kokį jūsų nepasitenkinimą.
Noriu paklausti dėl norų materialių, daleiskim, jeigu paimti Dhruva Maharadžą, jis turėjo materialius troškimus, bet jis kreipėsi į viešpatį. Ir tokiu būdu, nors nepaisant to, kad jis turėjo tos materialius troškimus, jis prašė, kad viešpats juos išpildytų. Ir Prabhupada rašė, kad jis tyras atsidavęs yra. Tai kaip mums reikia, ar tiesiog visus tos norus ignoruot, ta prasme, kurie yra pas mus ten susikopę, ar ką, ar tiesiog stengtis kažkaip nuoširdžiai būti ir tos norus per Krishna sąmonę išpildyti.
What to do with desires? For example, Dhruva Maharaj, he had some desires and he approached to Krishna with these desires. And we also have so many desires. Should we just ignore them, or we humble submit to Lord and try to do something?
Submit to the Lord.
Or should we ask Lord to fulfill these desires?
Spiritual desires you can have.
Gali turėti dvasinių troškimų.
I want to distribute books.
Nori išplatinti knygas.
I want to learn how to cook very nicely for Krishna.
Išmokti Krishnai gaminti skaniai.
We are meant to have desires.
Mes turim turėti troškimus.
The Mayavadis, they want to kill desire.
Majavadžiai, jie nori nužudyti
We
troškimus.
want to purify our desires.
Mes norim savo troškimus apvalyti.
A devotee has many, many desires.
Atsidavęs turi labai daug troškimų.
Actually, the devotee, he wants to make the whole world Krishna conscious.
Jis nori visą pasaulį padaryti Krišnos
So his heart
sąmonę.
has big desires, even bigger than a karmi.
Jo troškimai didesni negu karmė.
You see? The devotee has more desires even than karmi, but they're all spiritual.
Atsidavęs turi daugiau troškimų negu karmės, bet jie
He
visi
wants to see that the
dvasiniai.
whole world becomes Krishna conscious before he leaves his body.
Jis nori prieš kūną palikdamas pamatyti, kaip
Jie
visas
big
pasaulis
desires.
priima Krišnos sąmonę. Jo troškimai labai dideli.
So one can have spiritual desires, a very nice thing.
Taigi dvasiniai troškimai yra labai gražu.
I want to learn how to offer arti very nicely. I want to distribute books. I want to learn verses. I want to do so many. I want to please my spiritual master. I want to please the Vaishnava. These are very nice desires.
Ir labai gražus troškimai yra. Nori patenkinti mokytoją, išmokti aratį, nori patenkinti vaišnavus.
Next question.
Brangus mokytojau, karvutė kreipėsi į viešpatį ir buvo sudarytos tokios aplinkybės sunkios, kad jinai nebeturėjo ką kreiptis ir tai atliko. O tai ar viešpas nespecialiai sukūrė tas aplinkybės, kuriomis mes būsime priversti kreiptis?
The cow was approaching Lord because there was no other way. She was forced because of circumstances. Does the Lord especially create these circumstances to inspire devotees to approach Him?
Actually, one can understand like that.
Iš tikrųjų galima taip galvoti,
That Krishna has made the perfect arrangement
Krišna surėdė viską tobulai,
that I can now approach him and completely surrender to him.
kad pilnai atsiduočiau jam ir kreipčiausi pas jį.
Every devotee can see that Krishna has put me in a situation now where I have no choice but to fully surrender to him.
Kiekvienas atsidavęs gali matyti, kad dabar mane Viešpats patalpino tokią padėtį, kurioje aš neturiu kitos išeities, kaip kreiptis pas jį.
Next question. Let Guru Mata here. Get the mic from Guru Mata. Yeah.
I was just continuing with his question. This Prabhu's question here, that he said that Dhruva Maharaj went to the to fulfill his material desires.
Material desires is a different thing, yeah.
But material desires, he went and he did that austerities. Can we do that austerity? What the austerity?
So he was asking about the material desires.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification. We don't advise them. Although, with those who do have material desires, it's better they approach the Lord to fulfill them.
Mes to nepatariam, bet tie, kurie turi materialius troškimus, geriau prašyti Viešpaties, kad jis juos patenkintų.
There's that verse in the Bhāgavatam.
That's
Toks
what he was
posmas
saying.
yra Bhāgavatam.
Kama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi tivrenda bhakti yogena yujeta padabhang padam. That whether you have no material desires, all material desires, or you desire merging into Brahman, in all situations you should approach Krishna.
Tu turi materialių troškimų, neturi, bet tokiomis aplinkybėmis turi kreiptis pas Krišną.
So those who have material desires, they should approach God.
Tie, kurie turi troškimų, materialių, turi kreiptis pas Krišną.
Instead of approaching some demigod or some materialistic person.
Vietoj to, kad kreiptis pas kažkokius materialistus arba pas
That
pusdievius.
advice is not for us.
Bet šitas patarimas ne mum.
We should approach Krishna in the mood of pure devotion.
Mes turime kreiptis pas Krišną su nuotaika, tyro atsidavimu.
What good will the fulfillment of your material desires do?
Ką gero tu gausi patenkinęs savo materialius troškimus?
It's simply that whole consciousness is the version from pure bhakti.
Nes šita sąmonė tai yra atitolimas nuo tyros bhakti.
Why should you even think of fulfilling material desires? It's not required.
Kam stengtis patenkinti materialius troškimus? To visai nereikia.
The only thing we require is pure devotional service.
Vienintelis dalykas, ko mums reikia, tai yra atsidavimo tarnystė.
And then whatever material needs are there, Krishna will fulfill it automatically.
Ir kokie poreikiai pas mus bebus, Krishna automatiškai išpildys.
So the intelligent thing to do is lay aside all material desires.
Tai išmintinga tuos materialius troškimus padėti šoną
Simply depend on Krishna.
ir priklausyti nuo Krišnos.
And then you will get unbelievable results.
Ir tu sulauksi neįtikėtinų rezultatų.
Prabhupada gave up all material desires.
Šila Prabhupada atidėjo visus materialius
He gave up
troškimus.
his family, he gave up his business.
Paliko šeimą, verslą
He was a complete pauper.
ir buvo visiškas vargšas.
He had no money.
Neturėjo nė cento.
He simply fully depended on the spiritual master's order that you must preach in English.
Tiesiog pilnai priklausė nuo savo mokytojų nurodymų, kad turi pamokslauti anglų kalba.
He gave himself fully to carrying out that order. You see.
Ir jis pilnai save atidavė, kad tą nurodymą
And
vykdyti.
Krishna gave him millions of dollars, you see.
Ir Krišnėm davė milijonus dolerių.
Even one temple, these like the Los Angeles temple,
Pavyzdžiui, Los Andželo šventykla,
$20,000 a month in expenditure.
jie išleidžia $20,000, kad ją
And that was
palaikytų.
$69, which are much more valuable, much bigger than the dollars now.
Tai buvo 69 metais, kai doleris buvo daug vertingesnis.
So it's a huge expenditure all over the world. All these temples, so it's a huge amount of money was pouring into this movement, you see.
Tokie didžiuliai kiekiai pinigų atėjo iš šitą judėjimą visame
Prabhupada
pasaulyje.
gave up his business.
Nors Prabhupada atmetė savo verslą.
Became a pauper and just preached, and then much more money came than his business could have ever earned.
Ir tapo vargšų pamokslautojų, bet pinigų atėjo daug daugiau negu bet kada iki tol.
So giving up material desires is a smart thing to do.
Taigi išmintingiausia atmesti savo materialius troškimus.
Just focus on being a pure devotee
Tiesiog būk tyras atsidavęs
and making the world Krishna
ir
conscious.
padaryk pasaulį Krišną sąmoningą.
And you'll be amazed to see what happens.
Nustebsi, kas nutiks.
Bahirna Singha, Hridayena Singha. We bring every morning.
Kiekvieną rytą meldžiamės Bahirna Simho, Hridayena Simho.
May Lord Nrsimhadev dwell in my heart, driving out all the inauspicities.
Tegul viešpas Nrsimha panaikina iš mano širdies visus nešvarumus.
And Bahirna Singha may be able to give Krishna to all the fallen souls of this world.
Ir tegul aš būsiu įgalintas duoti Krishną visam pasauliui.
The devotee only has two desires. I want to become a pure devotee, and I want to spread this cult of pure devotion to the suffering people of this world.
Atsidavęs te turi du troškimus. Noriu tapti tyru atsidavusiu ir noriu skleisti šitą žinojimą visiems.
And within those two desires, there are so many sub-desires.
Ir tarp šių troškimų yra tiek daug
Learning verses, going to the holy dham,
troškimų, pavyzdžiui, išmokti posmus,
kirtan,
šventą damą keliauti,
shadam.
prasadą
So
valgyti.
many sub-desires within these two, but actually we have only two desires.
Čia yra du
Become a pure
pagrindiniai
devotee
troškimai.
and spread pure devotion.
Visi kiti yra tarp jų.
That's all we really am. Become a pure devotee and spread pure devotion. We
Tapti
have no
tyru
other.
atsidavimu ir tapti tyru atsidavusiu ir skleisti tyru atsidavimą.
So you had a question?
Hare Krishna, dear Sri Gurudeva. You travel all over the world and you see many devotees in different countries, in different communities. Are they happy? And are they dedicated to the Lord?
I've seen many devotees all over the world. Are they happy and dedicated to the Lord? To varying degrees.
Jūs keliaujat po visą pasaulį, matot atsidavusius, ar jie laimingi ir atsidavę. Mokytojas sako įvairiai.
Everybody surrendered to some extent.
Visi kažkiek atsidavę.
Some 10%,
Kažkas
some
10%,
20%.
kažkas 20%.
The point is, the more you're surrendered, the more you're going to taste the bliss.
Kuo daugiau tu atsidavęs, tuo daugiau paragausi
I
nektarą.
see some are just completely surrendered. They're tasting the ecstasy like anything.
Matau tuos, kurie visiškai atsidavę ir jie visą laiką palaimui.
Some are trying to do a balancing act between, material desires and spiritual desires.
Ir matau tuos, kurie balansuoja tarp materialių troškimų ir dvasinių.
They have a lot of anxieties, you see.
Jie turi daug problemų.
And they have a little hope of bliss in the future.
Ir jie vilėsi kažkokią tai palaimą ateityje
Because they've
sulaukti.
taken to the path, you see. But it's smart that those who have taken it very seriously with enthusiasm and determination, they're tasting the bliss like anything.
Bet išmintingiausi tie, kurie su visišku ryžtu priima
Just
procesą.
like I have one disciple, Hari Krishna Das, in South India.
Pietų Indijoje vienas mano mokinys, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
He and his wife, they're both medical doctors and they're both my disciples.
Jie abu yra žmona ir vyras gydytojai
So
ir jie mano
every
mokiniai.
day when they got off work, they would go door to door for book distribution. Every day they go on book distribution, door to door.
Ir kiekvieną dieną grįžę iš darbo eina platinti knygas nuo durų prie durų.
As soon as they get off work, go door to door for book distribution, you see. That's Krishna consciousness.
Va čia yra Krišno sąmonė.
Not 1 minute for sense gratification.
Nei minutės jūslių tenkinimui.
And you'll see them in India.
Pamatysit
Hare
juos
Krishna Das,
Indijoj.
he's very, very blissful.
Jis labai
He's
palaimingas.
he's like a sun god. He's
Jis
just emanating Krishna consciousness.
Kaip saulės dievas tiesiog spinduliuoja
He's
Krišno
giving
sąmonę.
everything to Krishna. you see.
Nes viską Krišna atiduoda.
So any other questions?
Dar
Yeah.
klausimų.
My question, we ask about the world. Should we see ourselves whether my heart is happy or not? How much Krishna conscious I'm practicing?
So the devotees here can hear you on the internet. Go ahead and raise the microphone.
Okay. I'm seeing around where everybody is happy or not, but first shouldn't I ask myself whether I am happy? If I am happy, then I will see the world is happy. If I am miserable, I will think that everybody is miserable.
That's a good, I can understand your point. If I'm not Krishna conscious, if I'm not tasting the nectar of Krishna consciousness, I might think that everybody is just a pseudo devotee, you see.
Jeigu mes žvalgomės po pasaulį, tai ir jie laimingi, ir nelaimingi, bet jeigu mes esam patys laimingi, tai tada...
If I'm not serious about pure devotion, I probably won't be able to recognize it in anybody. you see. If I'm not serious about pure devotion,
I have to translate what Mataji told.
Oh, okay.
Tai tada mes... Jeigu patys esam liūdni, tai galvosim, kad visas pasaulis liūdnas.
So, but if I'm serious about Krishna consciousness,
Bet jeigu esu rimtas Krišnos sąmonėje,
then I will be able to recognize who is Uttama Adhikari, who is Madhyama Adhikari, who is Kanishta Adhikari.
aš matysiu, kas yra Utama, kas yra Madhyama, kas yra Kanishta.
Kanishta is a materialistic devotee.
Kanishta tai materialistiškas atsidavęs.
Uttama is a pure devotee.
Utama yra tyras,
Madhyam is in between.
o Madhyama per vidurį.
He's also pure, but he's not on the highest level.
Jis taip pat tyras, bet ne aukščiausios platformos.
So if I'm a Kanishta, I'll see everybody as a Kanishta.
Jeigu su Kanishta, visus matysiu tokius.
If I'm a Madhyama, then I can recognize who is Uttama, who is Madhyama, and who is Kanishta.
O jeigu būsiu Madhyama, galėsiu atskirti, kas yra kas.
So every devotee must strive to come to the Madhyam platform.
Todėl kiekvienas atsidavęs turi dėti pastangas pasiekti Madhyam platformą.
That's when you're completely surrendered into your spiritual master's order.
Tai yra ta platforma, kurioje jūs visiškai atsiduodate savo
You
mokslo
do anything
nurodymą.
what your spiritual master asks you to do. you
Jūs
see.
bet ką darysit, ką jūsų mokytojas prašys padaryti.
With such a mentality, you will never fall down.
Tokia mentalitete jūs niekad nepulsit.
Practically speaking, you're already a pure devotee.
Praktiškai jūs jau tyras atsidavęs.
Even though you're not seeing Krishna face to face yet,
Nors dar nematot Krišnos akis į
because
akį.
you're fully dedicated to serving your spiritual master's instructions,
Bet kadangi pilnai atsidavęs tarnauti savo mokytojo
you never
pamokymą,
fall down.
jūs niekad
And
nepulsit.
to be able to recognize those who are more advanced, those who are equal, and those who are less advanced.
Ir suprasi, kas daugiau pažengęs, kas tau lygus ir kas mažiau pažengęs.
Next question, yeah.
Ananda Vardhana on the internet.
Nardavardhana, okay. The question, I can read it. Today my eyes are focusing, okay. Okay, from Australia, Ananda Vardhana, my disciple there, he's asking, is it that we give the same respect to local Siksha Guru, senior devotees, as we give to Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Mata?
Ar mes turime suteikti tokią pačią pagarbą vietiniams šikša mokytojams, kaip ir savo mokytojui?
I discussed this in detail the other day. I assume that you missed the lecture.
Aš vakar apie tai kalbėjau, suprantu, kad neklausėjai.
So I'll explain it again. There's actually a letter we received from Prabhupada in one of my godbrothers in the Austin Temple back in 71 received this letter.
Taigi paaiškinsiu, kad vieni mano Dievo broliai gavo laišką iš Prabhupados.
In November, actually, of 1971.
Gruodį.
Prabhupada says, actually the best thing is to read the letter. I'll just pull it up in the database.
Taigi mes paskaitysim vėl tą laišką.
We'll just take the instructions straight from Prabhupada because some may see this as controversial. So we just read it straight from Prabhupada and then no one can argue.
Kadangi, kad nieks negalėtų ginčytis, paskaitysim, ką pas Prabhupadas sako.
Prabhupada's our authority. Okay, so let's see
Yes,
what we got
Prabhupada
here.
yra
Actually, you'll
mūsų
see it on the
autoritetas.
screen when I'm going to pull it up. Be able to see it on the screen, those of you who are watching on the start meeting. Let's see, you have to find it first here. Let's see, table, bookmark, let's see. Let's see here. See where I filed it, Siksha. There's another quote here too. Prabhupada says, so Siksha and Diksha Guru. This is a lecture he gave in Honolulu.
Radau kitą citatą.
A Siksha Guru who instructs against the instructions of spiritual master, he is not a Siksha Guru, he is a demon.
Šikša, kuris moko ne pagal mūsų mokytojo nurodymus, jis nėra šikša, jis demonas.
Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru means
Šikša ir dikša guru reiškia,
sometimes a Diksha Guru is not present always.
kartais dikša guru gali nebūti šalia mūsų.
Therefore, one can take learning instructions from an advanced devotee.
Todėl galime paimti pamokymus iš pažengusių atsidavusių.
That is called Siksha Guru.
Tai yra vadinama šikša guru.
Siksha Guru does not mean he is speaking something against the teachings of the Diksha Guru.
Bet šikša guru nekalba kažką prieš mokytojo nurodymus.
He is not Siksha Guru, he is a rascal.
Tokiu atveju jisai nėra mokytojas, jis yra niekšas.
So the point is, those who are preaching are teaching you the same thing that your Diksha Guru is saying, and your Diksha Gurus are giving you exactly what Prabhupada is saying. Those can be respected as Siksha Gurus.
Taigi tie, kurie moko tą patį, ką ir jūsų mokytojas, juos galima gerbti kaip šikša guru.
In other words, it depends.
Taigi tai priklauso.
They are equally respectable if they are preaching the same thing that your Diksha Guru is preaching.
Jie yra vienodai gerbtini, jeigu moko tą patį, ką ir jūsų mokytojas.
This is what Prabhupada is saying here.
Šila Prabhupada tą sako čia.
Now there's another quote here, and I'm going to look that one up. Let's see. I'll look at it the slow way, one thing at a time. Let's see. Correspondence 1971. Let's see here. November. I think it's November. Okay. Let's see if we can find it. Let's look under the devotee's name. The devotee's name was Sri Galim. Look under his name. Galim. It wasn't November. Let's see. Contents 71. Galim. Okay, there's 9 hits. It's one of them. Okay. Okay, here it is. Yeah, it is November. November 20th, 1971.
71 metų laiškas lapkričio mėnesio Šilas Prabhupadas.
Srila Prabhupada says, to answer your last point,
Kad atsakyti tavo klausimą,
one who teaches can be treated as spiritual master.
tas, kuris moko, gali būti laikomas dvasiniu mokytoju.
It is not that after we become initiated, we become perfect.
Po iniciacijos mes netampam tobuli.
No. It requires teaching.
Reikalinga mokymas.
So we take instruction from them. All senior godbrothers may be treated as guru. There is no harm.
Visi vyresniai Dievo broliai gali būti laikomi kaip guru.
Actually, we have only one spiritual master
Mes turim tik vieną dvasinį
who
mokytoją.
initiates you,
Ta, kuris tave inicijuoja.
just as you have only one father.
Kaip ir turi vieną tėvą.
But every Vaishnava should be treated as Prabhu, master,
Bet visi vaišnavai turi būti laikomi kaip prabu,
higher than
šeimininkai,
me.
aukštesni negu aš.
And in this sense,
Tokiu būdu,
if I learn from him,
jeigu išmokstu,
he may be regarded as guru.
iš jo kažką jį galima
It
laikyti
is
kaip
not that I
guru.
disobey my real spiritual master
Bet aš neatmetu savo tikrojo
and
mokytojo.
call someone else's spiritual master.
Ir vietoj to nevadinu kažko kito savo mokytojo.
That is wrong.
Tai nėra tinkama.
It is only that I can call spiritual master
Dvasinį mokytoją galiu vadinti tik tai
someone
tą,
who is purely teaching me what my initiating spiritual master has taught.
kuris moko tik tai tą, ką mane mokė ir inicijuojantis
So that's
mokytojas.
the answer.
Toks yra atsakymas.
Anyone who is preaching you purely according to what your spiritual master is teaching you,
Bet kas, kuris moko tą patį, ką tavo mokytojas,
they can be given great respect as Siksha Guru.
jiems reikia reikšti didžiulę pagarbą kaip šikša guru.
But if someone preaches something differently,
Bet jeigu kažkas moko kažko kito,
Prabhupada actually said in that Honolulu, they're actually a demon, they're not really a devotee even.
Prabhupada sako, kad jie yra net neatsidavusi, jo demonai.
So sometimes it happens,
Taigi taip nutinka.
we hear deviant philosophy sometimes in ISKCON lectures.
Mes išgirstame ISKCON paskaitose
You got to be
tokią
careful sometimes.
įvairią filosofiją, kuri netitinka
I was
tikrovės.
hearing a lecture one time in our Juhu temple in Bombay.
Kartą Bombėje girdėjau paskaitą.
This is not a Prabhupada disciple, it was a grand disciple.
Tai ne Prabhupados mokinys, o Prabhupados mokinio
He said
mokinys.
we should only hear from Srila Prabhupada.
Jis pasakė, mes turim klausyti tik iš Šilas Prabhupados.
So then why was he sitting on the Vyasasana?
Tai man kilo klausimas, kodėl jis sėdė ant Vyasasanos.
We were hearing from him. He said, you should only hear from Prabhupada.
Mes iš jo girdėjom, o jisai sako, tik iš Prabhupados reikia
I was a little
klausyti.
spaced out. I should have said, well, Prabhu, then why are you sitting on the Vyasasana?
Ir aš pakėliau ranką, Prabhu, kodėl
If
jūs
that's your
sėdėte
philosophy, then get off the
ant
Vyasasana.
Vyasasanos? Jeigu jūs tokia filosofija, tai
According to
nesėdėkite.
you, we shouldn't be hearing from you. So why are you speaking?
Pasak, jūsų nereikėtų klausyti, tai kodėl šnekat?
So sometimes there are deviant philosophies.
Taigi, kartais yra tokių netinkamų
That's why we
filosofijų.
have to be careful.
Todėl mums reikia būti atsargiem.
As far as hearing from others, Prabhupada discussed this point very clearly.
klausytis apie kitus.
This whole idea we should only hear from Srila Prabhupada.
Tai nereiškia, kad mes turime tik iš Prabhupados klausyti.
Prabhupada was discussing this with my godbrother Hridayananda Maharaj on Venice Beach in Los Angeles.
Šila Prabhupada tai aptarė su mano Dievo broliu Hridayananda Maharadžu.
Prabhupada said, whether I preach or you preach, it's the same thing.
Prabhupada sako, ar aš pamokslauju, ar jūs, tai tas pats.
Just like no matter which side you bite of the sweet ball, you get the sweet ball.
Kaip nesvarbu, iš kurios pusės saldainį kasi, jisai bus saldus.
I can give you a sweet, you can bite on this side or that side, but it's the same thing.
Iš tos pusės kasi, iš kitos tas pats bus.
So anybody who is preaching the same thing that Prabhupada is teaching, he is a bona fide spiritual master.
Taigi, bet kuris moko tą patį, ką ir Šila Prabhupada, jis yra bona fide
Diksha ar
mokytojas.
siksha.
Ar diksha ar šikša.
He's bona fide.
Jis yra bona fide.
Somebody preaches against Prabhupada's teachings,
Kažkas, kas moko prieš Prabhupados mokymus.
we should inform the authorities so that he's not allowed to speak anymore.
Mes turime informuoti autoritetus ir neleisti jam daugiau pamokslauti.
It's difficult enough to train people how to become pure devotees.
Yra sunku apmokinti žmonės tapti tikrais atsidavusiais.
And if the person giving the class is giving bogus philosophy, it makes it that much more confusing for everyone.
Ir jeigu žmogus, kuris skaito paskaitą, duoda netinkamą filosofiją, tai dar daugiau sutrikdo žmonės.
Okay, so let's see. There was a question back here.
Aš norėjau paklausti, koks čia atsidavimas yra, jeigu išoriškai ir žodžiais atrodytų, kad tyro atsidavimo apraiškos tokios ir gali ilgai tai tęstis, bet praeina kažkoks laikas ir užgęsta tas. Tas atsidavęs, jis pasitraukia.
I want to ask about this devotion that some devotee can look like a very nice pure devotee, very devoted, and he's speaking and acting like this, but after some time he disappear.
The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Or they can say, time will tell.
Yra taip sakoma, kad laikas parodys.
If somebody, it's like a shooting star.
Yra tokios krentančios žvaigždės.
It's very bright,
Labai
but
ryškios,
it burns out very quickly and it's gone.
bet greitai nužydė.
We've had many shooting stars in ISKCON.
ISKCON daug tokių žvaigždžių.
They make a big thing. They're big. Oh wow, this big devotee really advanced, and a year later he's gone. You see.
Jie tiek daug sukelia dėmesio, bet po kurio laiko dingsta.
In this connection, there's a nice story.
Šiuo klausimu yra nuostabi
I
istorija.
think you all know this story.
Turbūt jie žinot.
It's called the hare and the tortoise.
Tai yra
The rabbit,
kiškis
the rabbit and the turtle.
ir vėžlys.
Yeah. So everybody knows the story. You see. You don't know the story, the hare and the tortoise. Okay,
Nežinot?
I'll tell the story.
Papasakosiu.
So there was a rabbit or a hare, and there was the tortoise or the turtle. You see.
Buvo kiškis ir vėžlys.
And they were having a little race and see who could win the race.
Ir jie nusprendė palenktyniauti.
Now the rabbit, he can run very quickly, you see.
Jūs žinot, triušiai bėga greitai.
But the turtle, he's very slow. Da-dum, 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 da-dum.
O vėžlys yra lėtas.
So the hare thinks, I've got the race covered. I'm just going to go ahead and get a nice nap. I had a big lunch. Now I'm going to lay on my left side, have a nice lunch, nap after lunch.
Taigi prasidėjus varžyboms, zuikis galvoja, pamiegosiu, visiems suspėsiu.
And I'll wake up and I'll easily win the race. That tortoise will be just plodding along one step at a time. You see.
Daug pavalgiau, pagulėsiu, paskui atsikėlęs pasivysiu tą vėžlį.
So he overslept a little bit too late.
Ir jis biškai pramiegojo,
And he looked over and the hare was about ready to cross the finish line. You see.
žiūri, kad
I mean, the
vėžlys
tortoise,
jau
the
ties
tortoise about
finišu.
ready to cross the finish line. So he did everything he could. He jumped up, he just ran, but he lost the race.
Šoko,
you see.
bėgo, bandė vytis, bet nespėjo.
So you need to look for those devotees, not who make a big show. Yeah, a big Jagad Guru or whatever, you see. See who's steady.
Taigi, tu nežiūrėkit tuos atsidavusius, kurie tokie
Who
didelį
can
šou
take
daro.
any service and be steady in that service.
Bet
And
tu
be
žiūrėkit
peaceful
tuos,
and
kurie
happy in
yra
that
stabilus,
service.
kurie gali bet kokią tarnystę stabiliai atlikti.
Year after year after year.
Metai po metų.
Just like my god sister Kalini, she's a great example.
Kaip mano Dievo sesė Kalinė, puikus pavyzdys.
I remember she was when I first met her, she was cooking the 4 o'clock offering in Gainesville, Florida.
Jis kepdavo 4 valandos aukojimą
The most
Floridoje.
wonderful pastries she'd make every day.
Jis kepdavo nuostabius pyragus.
And then later on, she was at Gita Nagari.
O paskui Gitanagariją.
And there was so many managers came and went.
Ir tiek daug menedžerių keitėsi,
So many shooting stars came and went.
tiek daug krentančių žvaigždžių.
But she was steadily doing her service year after year after year.
Bet jis stabiliai metų po metų darė savo
Even
tarnystę.
at one point she was the temple president because there was nobody else available.
Vienu metu net jinai buvo šventyklos prezidentas, nes nebuvo kam būti.
And recently she left her body actually.
Neseniai paliko kūną.
She was a great Vaishnavi. I knew her personally in Gainesville.
Ji yra diva išnavę, žinau ją nuo
'Cause I
Gensvilio.
mean, I didn't, like, not intimately, but we were seeing her service, how steadily she was
Mačiau,
in
kokia
serving
stabili buvo
Gaurnitai.
tarnaudama Gaurnitai.
So the real thing is not who's the big name, you see. The real thing is who is steady in their service.
Taigi, tikras dalykas, ne kieno vardas didelis, o kas yra
Those
stabilus.
are the true advanced devotees. Those who go on steadily serving year after year after year. with
Tai
no
sako apie
deviation.
atsidavusiojo pažangą, stabilumas.
Yeah. Wait for the mic so they can't hear you on the internet.
The place Prabhupada also says, one should not see how many came and how many left, but one should see how many have remained. That is the success.
Yeah, it's not surprising when someone leaves because it's the Kali Yuga.
Visiškai nenuostabu, kad kažkas tai palieka, nes tai Kali Yuga.
What is surprising when someone stays?
Nuostabu, jeigu kažkas lieka.
So the best thing is to take your time and see who's actually steady,
Geriausia užsimti tuo, kad stebėti tuos, kurie lieka,
who goes on undeviatingly serving Krishna,
kurie nenuklysdami tarnauja
humble
Krišnai,
before the spiritual master,
kurie nuolankus prieš
humble
dvasinę
before the
mokytoją, prieš
Vaishnavas,
Vaišnavus.
always in that mood of pure loving service to Guru and Vaishnavas,
Visą laiką šitoje lankioje nuotaikoje tarnystės
year
Krišnai,
after year after year.
metai po metų.
That's the bona fide spiritual master,
Tai yra tikras dvasinis mokytojas.
not the big name necessarily.
Nebūtinai tie, kurie turi didelį vardą.
It makes a big show and then is gone.
Nebūtinai tie, kurie šau didelį
Running
padaro,
off with one of
paskui
his female
dingsta.
disciples.
Nubėga pas savo mokinės.
That's happened. We had one guru went away with one of his own female disciples.
Taip nutiko, vienas mokytojas
So-called guru. You see.
puolė su savo mokinė.
So you have to see who is actually fixed in pure bhakti.
Taigi, reikia žiūrėti, kas iš tikrųjų yra
By
tyroje
studying what
bhakti.
is pure bhakti from the books,
Studijuojant, kas yra tyra bhakti iš
and seeing who
knygų
manifests the symptoms of pure bhakti.
ir stebint, kas tos simptomus apreiškia.
They're described in detail in the Gravastakam prayers. The bona fide
Gravastakam.
spiritual master is described in detail.
Maldose yra detaliai apibūdintos mokytojos savybės.
Study the Gravastakam prayers, see who's actually manifesting those qualities.
Studijuok Gurvaštaka maldą, žiūrėk, kas tas savybės apreiškia.
That will give you some idea.
Ir gausi tam tikrų idėjų.
And if you're sincere also,
Ir jei esi nuoširdus,
Krishna will give you the vision.
Krišna duos tau regėjimą.
If you actually want to surrender, you want to have a spiritual master as Krishna is ordering you to have,
Jeigu tikrai nori atsiduoti, turėti dvasinį mokytoją, ką Krišna
then
prašo, tai
Krishna will give you the vision to see who is the bona fide spiritual master.
Krišna tau duos regėjimą pamatyti, kuris yra autoritetingas mokytojas.
But if you're not wanting to surrender to Krishna's order to have a spiritual master,
Bet jeigu neturi to nuoširdaus troškimo,
you won't have the vision of where is the bona fide
tu
spiritual master.
negalėsi atskirti.
It's a matter of your own heart and your own desire.
Tai viskas priklauso nuo tavo širdies, nuo tavo
If
troškimo.
you sincerely desire to follow Krishna's order to have a spiritual master,
Jeigu trokšti nuoširdžiai sekti Krišnos nurodymų,
from within
turėti
the heart, He
dvasinį
will guide
mokytoją,
you where you should go to get that connection.
viduje iš tavo širdies Krišna ves tave, kur ieškoti to
You
mokytojo.
understand the philosophical point?
Supranti?
Yeah, it's a matter of your own purity,
Viskas priklauso nuo tavo
your own
tyrumo.
sincerity. Krishna will help. Within the heart, He will reveal to you these things.
Krišna tau padės atskleis širdyje.
No one will have to tell you.
Ne tik, kad mes tau turim
You'll have
pasakyti.
the realization within your own heart.
Tu turėsi supratimą savo širdyje.
Simply, you have to be sincere to become a fully surrendered devotee of Krishna.
Paprasčiausiai nuoširdžiai turi norėti tapti tyru Krišnos atsidavusiu.
Man proposes and God disposes.
Žmogus planuoja ir Dievas disponuoja.
Okay, this is the last question.
Paskutinis klausimas.
Oh, I got four of them coming in. Wow. Oh, wow. And this is the last lecture also, by the way.
Ir paskaita paskutinė.
We're having a disciple meeting tonight.
Vakare bus mokinių
And
susirinkimas.
tomorrow we're leaving early to go get all to tell them. One more question. Who should I ask, Davy?
Who has not asked one?
Who didn't get a question?
Kas dar neuždavė klausimą?
All four of them didn't get. All right, we'll go with Amaladma, all right. Guru Mata's mercy. Amaladma. Those of you who didn't get a chance, you can send me the email. I answer you by the email.
Prašau, parašykite mailus, kas negavo šansų.
Okay.
Kai atlieki tą tarnystę metai iš metų, jinai tokia stabili tampa ir tu papuoli kažką panašaus kaip į komforto zoną. Ir kaip atskirti, ar tai vis dar tarnystė, ar tiesiog tai įtraukia į komforto zoną.
Then you doing the service year after year, you found yourself in the comfort zone sometimes. And how to properly distinguish it is nice service or you enjoying in your comfort zone.
Devotional service is the ultimate enjoyment.
Sėdimo tarystė yra aukščiausias pasimėgavimas.
I enjoy like anything, traveling and preaching all over the world, giving Krishna consciousness.
Aš taip mėgaujuosi keliaudamas ir pamokslaudamas,
I'm
dalindamas
very
Krishna
comfortable
sąmonę.
doing this.
Tai yra visiška mano komforto zona.
But I'm willing to accept all discomforts in order to continue doing this. Actually.
Tuo pat metu priimu visus diskomfortus, kad galėčiau tęsti šitą.
So when you learn how to be comfortable with discomfort,
Taigi tau reikia išmokti būti komfortabiliu, netgi kai
how
nėra
to
komforto.
enjoy even when you're uncomfortable,
Kai mėgautis, kai nėra komforto.
then you know you're coming to the transcendental platform.
Tuomet suprasi, kad esi transcendentinė platforma.
Actually, a pure devotee relishes like anything at every minute.
Tyras įsidavęs, mėgaujasi visada.
Everything is relishable for him.
Jisai viskuo tenkinasi.
Hearing the holy name, chanting the holy name, taking prasadam, cooking prasadam, offering arti, it all becomes ecstasy for him.
Jam tai yra viskas ekstazė.
So if you're enjoying it, that's great.
Taigi, jeigu mėgaujasi, tai gerai.
The test is if you're asked to do something by your spiritual master, you'll do it with enthusiasm.
Testas yra tas, kai dvasinis mokytojas paklausia kažko, tai tu su
It
entuziazmu
may be
darai.
something that is within your comfort zone, it may be something outside of your comfort zone.
Gal tu jas paprašyti kažko, kas tavo komforto zonoje, kažkas, kas
But
ne.
actually a devotee is very much eager to always push beyond his comfort zone.
Bet atsidavęs nori daryti viską netgi anapus savo komforto zonos.
I recommend that every ISKCON devotee
Rekomenduoju, kad kiekvienas atsidavęs
should always be pushing a little bit beyond their comfort zone.
truputį daugiau darytų, negu gali.
And that way your comfort zone expands.
Tada jūsų komforto zona
And then you push
plėsis.
a little bit more,
Tada dar truputėlį
expands
daugiau.
even more. You don't have to do like, all at in 1 minute.
Nereikia visko per vieną minutę padaryti.
Keep pushing a little bit.
Tik kasdien po truputį daugiau.
Instead of becoming a sannyasi, okay, I'll become a grihastha.
Bet to, kad tapti sanjasiu, gerai, tapsi šeimos žmogumi.
But I'll follow the regulated principles, you see.
Bet seks reguliuojamoisiais principais.
My senses want to have illicit sex.
Mano jūslės nori turėti neleistinų lytinių santykių.
So that the comfort zone for my senses is illicit sex. The comfort zone for my senses is illicit sex.
Mano jūslių komforto zona yra neleistini lytiniai santykiai.
But I'll go beyond my comfort zone.
Bet eisiu anapus savo komforto zonos.
No illicit sex.
Neturėsiu tokių
Pushing,
santykių.
but then I become comfortable there, you see.
Ir palaipsniui tapsiu komfortabilus čia.
I'm not having illicit sex, and I feel good not having illicit sex.
Neturiu neleistinų lytinių santykių ir man gerai.
And you think, well, getting up early in the morning, that's also what I'm supposed to be doing.
Na, dar turėčiau anksti keltis.
So I start getting up a little earlier every day.
Tad truputį anksčiau kelsiuosi.
When I feel comfortable doing that, then I go a little earlier, and finally I'm getting up by 4 o'clock every day, you see.
Ir po truputį anksčiau, kol gali atsikelsiu 4 ryto.
So it's good you feel comfortable,
Tai gerai, kad jauti
but
komfortą.
always try to push a little bit beyond where you're comfortable.
Vis laik stenkis truputėlį daryti daugiau.
Embrace a little bit of discomfort every day.
Kiekvieną dieną apkabink truputėlį diskomforto.
And that way, eventually, you'll be absolutely comfortable with anything and everything.
Ir tokiu būdu palaipsniui tu būsi komfortabilus
And we will
bet kur, bet
welcome you
kada.
to the Brahma Bhuta stage.
Ir mes tave pasveikinsime pasiekus Brahma būtos pakopą.
Brahma Bhuta prasanatma nasochati nakangshati sarmaksaveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendently situated
Kas pasiekęs tokią transcendentinę platformą?
relishes great happiness.
Mėgaujasi transcendentinę laimę.
He's not disturbed by happiness and distress.
Jo netrikdo nei laimė, nei nelaimė.
He's equipoised in all circumstances.
Jis lygus visose situacijose.
He doesn't distinguish between friends and enemy. He sees everyone as Krishna's servants.
Nedaro skirtumo tarp priešų ir draugų, viską mato kaip Krišnos tarnus.
And in that state, he attains pure devotional service to Krishna.
Ir tokioje stadijoje jisai pasiekia tyrą atsidimo tarnystę.
So keep pushing beyond your comfort zone a little bit, not too much,
Taigi, tęsk, spausdamas kasdien po
to
truputį.
where you'll give it up, you see. Not that you have to become a sannyasi tomorrow.
Ne tik, kad rytoj turi tapti sanyasiu.
You go a little bit, a little bit, a little bit.
Kasdien po truputį daryk daugiau.
And in this way, you'll achieve the Brahma Buddha stage, and from there you can go to pure Prema Bhakti.
Ir tada pasieksi Brahma būtos pakopą ir tada gausi Prema Bhakti.
Does that answer your question? Okay, but
Tas atsiduoti toj pat atrodo, kad vat ir tapk rytoj sanyasiu.
Then you told that we should immediately surrender. It looks like we tomorrow have to become sannyasis.
so if the wife is, Prabhupada said, if the wife is Krishna conscious, there's no need to take sannyas.
Prabhupada sako, jeigu žmona yra Krishna sąmoninga, nėra prasmės priimti sannyasis.
Sannyas is for men whose wives are complete Maya Devis. You see.
Sanyasi yra tiem, kurių žmona yra Maya Devi.
But if your wife is Krishna conscious, like Guru Mataji, you
Bet
see,
jeigu žmona yra Krishna sąmoninga, kaip Guru
there's no
Mataji,
need to take sannyas.
nėra poreikio priimti sanyasi.
Actually, it came up, and one godbrother, he said to me, he said, when are you going to take sannyas?
Vienas mano Dievo brolis klausė manęs, kada priimsi sanyasą?
So I consulted the GB, when it was first decided by the GBC that I could become a guru, the GBC said you should take guidance from this particular GBC man on he's your mentor to help you in your guru activities. So I asked my GBC appointed mentor what I
Taigi,
should do.
GBC man
Should I take
paskyrė
sannyas?
mentorių ir pasikreipiausi ir paklausiu, ar priimti sanyasą man?
Because the godbrother told me I should take sannyas, but I have a mentor appointed to me by the GBC.
Turiu mentorių, kuris sako, ne, nereikia.
What would he say? He said, you're better than sannyas.
Jisai sako, tu geriau už sanyasį.
Traveling and preaching with your wife, you are better than a sannyas.
Keliauji su žmona kartu, tu geriau negu
So
sanyasas.
there's no need for you to take sannyas.
Taigi nėra reikalo priimti sanyasą.
So sannyasa is specifically for those whose wives are not very Krishna conscious,
Sanyasi yra skirta tam, kurių
who
žmonas
don't
ne Krishna
cooperate
sąmoningas
nicely,
ir nebendradarbiauja.
who create so many impediments for one's devotional service.
Ir sukuria tiek daug sunkumų atsidūrimo
You have
tarnystėje.
a wife who's assisting you in enhancing your spiritual life, then there's no need to ever take sannyas.
Jeigu žmona padeda jūsų dvasinėme gyvenime, nėra poreikio.
This is a good tip for all the wives,
Čia yra geras pavyzdys jūsų žmonom,
how to keep your husbands.
kaip išlaikyti savo
Be
vyrus.
Krishna conscious.
Būkit Krishna
Don't be a
sąmoningas.
Maya Devi.
Nebūkite Maya Devi.
Sense gratification, Prabhu.
Nori jūslinio
Don't be
pasitenkinimo.
like that.
Tokias nebūkit.
You be a detached woman, you see.
Būkite atsižadėjusios.
Then you'll never lose your husband.
Tuomet jūsų vyrai niekada nepaliks.
Okay, so we'll stop here. And we thank you all. It's been a wonderful visit here. It's been super enlivening to be with you all here in Lithuania.
Labai dėkojame jums, tai buvo labai nuostabus vizitas, mes tokie
All the
įsikvėpę čia
disciples and
Lietuvoje.
aspiring disciples should come at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Yes. Right,
Visi,
Devi? 5 p.m.? Haribo? 5 p.m., right? 5 p.m. at the ashram where we're staying, which is what they call Dorka. What they call it?
visi mokiniai šiandien 5 val. Ir visi, kurie nori būti mokiniais 5
All
val.
disciples and aspiring disciples
Pas
should
antrą
come at 5
dvarą.
o'clock for disciples meeting. Huh?
Yeah, but would it be easier here or there?
Where do you want to have it?
His temple president is there.
There is better. For us, it's easier because we're trying to get ready to go. So many things to do to get ready to head out. So, but if everybody can do the other thing, come over there. It'll be better for us. 4 o'clock he can do. Vajkishore was coming at 4 every day. No. All right, we can discuss that later. Not during the lecture. Okay. So we'll look forward. How many of you are coming to Vrindavan for Kartik?
Kiek iš jūsų atvažiuoja į Vrindavaną?
Very good. Very good. So on the 6th November, my Vyas Puja will be there. It's going to be an ecstatic festival. Devotees from all over the world will be there. So we look forward to seeing you all in Vrindavan.
Bus mano Vyasa Puja, bus labai malonu jūs ten
It's
pamatyti.
going to be sweeter than the sweetest honey.
Bus saldžiau už medų.
So, Kantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Go to Premanandi!
His Grace Sriman Sankarshan Das Adhikari Maharaj ki ki ki
Achalabai.